Hi Libra. Fashionably late to our own party. That's what it is. All right, happy birthday. Yes, this month is amazing. I wanted to do this at night specifically because I just feel like, yeah, that's it. Nighttime. Boom, boom. Okay, so I have a lot of things to talk about with you, and I'm going to start with this Four of Wands, Nine of Cups energy. It's this contentness and how you have begun to really build this, or have already built the foundation and the structure you've been questioning a lot for a while. Things are now really forming. This month is huge for you, huge. So that's why this contentness, this knowing that you have the structure, bottom of the deck, reveals so much more that's coming through after things being stuck. And now you're so much more of yourself. By the time Saturn goes direct in Aquarius on the 10th, things will become even more clear for you. So it's already begun with this Mercury retrograde. I don't know about you Libras, but it's in Libra, and for me it's already given me a lot of clarity. For most of you, it's going to constantly give this clarity. There will be this surprising nature throughout our season that's going to happen throughout across the board with all of the signs, but especially with you, in the sense of you're going to get a lot of positive surprises, lots of love more than ever. So that contentness, that Nine of Cups, it's not just about being content, it's also about receiving what you give to others. That was something so important that when I gave another Libra reading recently, I wanted to stress this to her, and it was very much her very overall message, but that's for us too. It felt different. And it's this understanding of like, for most of you or all of you, if you've never heard this, your energy is very special. So if you've heard that, or if you've heard you make people feel special, or someone says to you, you make me feel special, and it's just something that you do. It's the way you notice things. It's the way that you care and give that to other people. So letting yourself receive all of that this month is most important, not only because you're going to, but for you to notice and be revealed to the unfortunate event of who you have to let go because of that, or situations you have to let go of that where you thought it was something and it turned out to be something else. And yes, that may be a constant theme, but this one's a huge one because for the most part everybody in Virgo season was given that fine detail, or if it was really just taken out of their life because it was never going to be nor meant to be in the long term. And now we're thinking Virgo season sets us up for long term, but everything is setting us up for long term. You're thinking about yourself in a different way more than ever, and how you value yourself, value your time, value your energy. Yes, you still give as much as you give, but there's a difference now. There's a difference to the stability and the structure because of what opportunities are going to be presented to you at this time. And again, revealed to you about who is really supportive of you and who really wants you to do well. You're going to do well no matter what. But it's going to make you realize, but now you're in a place where it's like anything that has stuck to you, this Venus and Scorpio with Mars and Mercury in our sign, in your sign, it's helping those things. You really think about certain things and it hits deep, right? And when you allow something to heal deeply, it heals to its fullest effect as the version you are now. So it's very quantum, and that's what I'm going to call this, because that's who you are as a person, because you put so much energy into like all the fine things, and that's why you can become so exhausted and why you sometimes don't want to do certain things. That's why you handle certain things the way you do, and more than ever you're fine-tuning the most important parts so that you're not constantly always fixing and doing handyman jobs on certain things with yourself. I know that's not the best, but you're not always like doing that. You actually get to focus on what's real and what's very much in full effect in your life. And what's full effect in your life is that you feel the way that other people the way that you make other people feel naturally. It's that you feel and you are and you're this person now. And whatever's presented to you now. Because for some of you, someone from the past is coming back. Maybe a couple people, depending. And this doesn't have to just be romantic. It could be situations from the past, and you're now meant to handle it the way you handle things now. Because when you change, here's the thing, when you change, it's really, really hard to get you to change back because you decided. So even when you decide on something that's not really good for you, you care, you put thought into it for the most part, because there are those moments where you're just like, gonna play off whatever is happening here. But you're really being able, and right now you're really being able to see that, like, what you're making a decision about is really important. But now, because your heart is becoming so, it's just very, you're leading from that place more than ever. Let's just put it that way. You're leading so much from there because you're not doubting who you are, because you don't have that energy around you where people's situations make you doubt yourself. Also, you don't doubt yourself. So nothing can make you doubt yourself unless you're easily swayed. Now you're not. It's not the same. And there will be emotional things that come through this month, but those are so important. When that happens and you have those releases or those moments where the emotions become the major role, just know that it's so important to the way that you think about yourself when you're going through that, because that's also going to be a big part of how you process and how you think moving forward. For the most part, you don't have to worry because you're good and you understand that more than ever now. But for some of you, of course it's going to make you think about certain things, but that's not who you are anymore. And that's what I constantly need to remind you, because especially by the time Saturn goes direct in Aquarius, it's just, and Jupiter going direct in Aquarius, it's just going to make you very, it's just going to, and things are just going to come to you. Things are already coming to you. Thought, emotion, opportunities, and all of the different layers, the quantum, all of the layers. And you will feel more connected to the people who you decide to stick or to keep around, because they really, really love you. They really care about you. They really want to see you do your life and do what you do and be who you are. For some of you, a Leo might be coming back, or a Libra, or a Sagittarius. But I do want to read this in a different way before I read it like that. This is about everything opening up to you. You realize more than ever how strong you are, how resilient you are, how much you've processed, how much magic you have made, how much you have become more of the archetype you want to be, how much you're opening up to the world and it's opening up to you, how much more vulnerable you're being, especially with the people that you are learning to trust more than ever. Because you're learning that you don't have to just trust what you knew, because you're not that person anymore. So therefore, those kind of people you're not going to have the same kind of people show up. You're not going to have the kind of situation show up. You're going to have different situations to respond to, different people to respond to. And that gives you more strength. Mars being in your sign this month, you're going to need to communicate a lot. You're also going to need to conserve a lot of energy, because you might also be creative and feel very sexually open too. So needing to take care of yourself more than ever, making yourself that major priority, that making yourself feel special, regardless if anyone else is doing it for you, right? It starts with you. And these cycles that you see right before your eyes and feeling them layer by layer begin to come to life in this whole other way within you that has been happening for a while, but now more than ever gives you the strength to really move on from the fear, the people, the situations, and all of the things moving forward, because you've done what you needed to do. You chose yourself while still doing what you do best, right? And you need to give yourself more credit for it. And this month you get it all, and you have to let yourself feel it all, because it's just going to keep opening up for you, because the future has a lot in store. And you're going to need to have your strength and your capability in yourself. You have so much on your table. And for a lot of you, you may be seeing that you get another opportunity in the same career that you have, and maybe even in the same company. Regardless of where your career is, you're being offered different opportunities. If you're someone like me who likes to do many different things, you may be asked to do certain things and asked to be in certain situations. And it's important for you to say yes, because for those of you who do have that oversensing, because as much as you like to play it off, there is a doubt, there is insecurity that comes through, especially when you let other people influence you. So first of all, that really foundation needs to be set. But for those of you who struggle more with that, just know that doing and saying yes to those things is going to help you move on even quicker. So if you feel more resistant to those opportunities, that's how you know you need to take them. For those of you who are ready and prepared for those opportunities already, as you are if you're being offered it, so just know that even the resistance, you can be totally ready for it. But to keep preparing yourself, to keep keeping yourself in that space of the 9 of Cups, the 4 of Wands. You know what you want. You do. And you have the stubborn energy with you this month, and Mercury is backing you up. I mean, if you have Mercury backing you up and the Sun, why do you need anyone else backing you up right now? So, like, don't explain yourself if you don't want to. Like, let those cycles end. Let yourself be seen by being exactly you in every situation. And now you know what I'm talking about. You don't have to always say, there's certain things you cannot say and do not need to say this month. So when you know you're being too extra with something, or you're saying something that's unnecessarily needing to be said, pull back, because it's probably to the wrong person. If there is a Leo in your life, that situation can be resolved if something happened, but there seems like there was deceit possibly in the situation with them, whether it's a love interest or a friend. Just know that that can be closed up, but that doesn't mean it's going to look the way it used to. It just means that however it's meant to heal is how it's meant to heal. And you know that now that you're doing well, and you have to think about when this happened, where you're at, where they were at, and see it for what it is. And now that you are where you are now, why is this coming back, right? So if it's something that's coming back that hasn't always been, just notice that, understand, and maybe have to, lay down the law with yourself and saying, it's funny that it's coming back now, but hey, like, I'm good. Like, I cool with you, glad you are doing what you're doing, but like, I'm on this roll. I'm not trying to go back into something that really wasn't everything it was cracked up to be. It wasn't good for me. You're like, I'm good. I'm moving on. So if there was deceit, just know that if that's the first thing that comes up in your mind, sometimes you have to understand that that's your intuition more than ever. So trust that, especially Mercury being in retrograde. You might have, and then there might be an opening. So the way it's placed right now, and you'll see when we look at the cards, there might be an opening with a Libra. So there might be a Libra coming into your life and opening up a whole new cycle with yourself. But more than ever, it's this whole new world. Like, you've always been that to people from the outside, but now you're becoming that to yourself more than ever. And you're going to feel like the strengthening of bonds between you and the people you find that are really who you want to be really close with, the people that you want to continuously create this relationship with in life and this connection with, you're going to want to deepen those, as well as meet new people and meet new connections, because again, the world is really opening up to you, and it's kind of just the beginning for a lot of us in many ways. So just know that. So much more, but we'll look at the cards and it will come out. To work with you one-on-one is below. Payment options are below. Thank you so much for being a part of this process. I love it so much, and I'm happy to share this season with you. Happy birthday to all the Libras out there. Honestly, go fucking celebrate yourself. I have been doing something like every week for myself. I'm just saying, like, do what you have to do. For me, it's like about getting my body right, got a massage, just do what you gotta do. And just let this season open up for you. Seriously. It's like the best way I can describe it. I'll mention that in the next part. Okay, all information to work with me one-on-one is below. Payment options are below. To contact me is below. Okay? I will see you next month. Hi, Libra. Okay. The structure, you now can observe what you've been building from the outside, and Mercury retrograde is going to help you realize that and become more aware of how that brings in so much more opportunity. You're becoming very aware of how everything you've done, especially the past month, internally in Virgo season, is now you're being in, even well before that, but that season was a time for you to kind of let things fall away. And by retrograde season, for me, it happened literally on the retrograde. That emotional response, that shift, that change, that realization, or the many realizations, different ways of connecting that fire you up, and you're still going to need that alone time. But what's happening is that you get to move forward in a way where, especially having all the retrogrades, Jupiter and Saturn both in Aquarius, not so easy, and it allows you to see where you may have been stuck. Hi, Libra. So, what's happening in this season for you is that you're beginning to see and be able to observe now all of the efforts you've done internally, especially the last month, but, well before that. But because the internal structure is becoming very solid, you get this chance to kind of observe it in this very non-judgmental way, in this very clear to you, clear to everyone around you of how well you're doing, how good you're feeling, and how much that is the only way you need to be feeling this month. Yes, you'll still need to, and you will have your Mercury retrograde moments where things will come out, things will be revealed, most likely a plethora of opportunities coming your way, whether it's in the career and now or other things that you're interested in, and romantic gestures. The retrogrades in Jupiter and Saturn being in Aquarius have definitely been difficult. Though they've helped you, the best part about them is they've helped you become more of yourself and less stuck and so confident in yourself more than ever. And the two horses, the two knights, the two people riding the horses are so sure of themselves, and both horses are kind of like, being a little sultry. Like there's this whole, again, that quantum explanation that I gave you, there's a very, as you're multi-layered, multi-dimensional. There's some things that can be very surface level about you, but not anymore. there's been so much discovered by yourself and so much to allow yourself to feel really good about, and so much strength gained from this, so much power from your heart to leadership, to being helpful, to being innovative for yourself with things yet to be revealed to you. For some of you, if there is an Aquarius in your life, they may come around after you have that moment of feeling stuck, but I do feel like this is when all the planets start to go direct. Mercury in Libra going direct. That this whole beginning of the month is very much about becoming even more secure and feeling no guilt or shame to feel and express and be everything that you've been becoming. Like Leo season showed you that, and anything from Leo season that's coming up through this retrograde, and it could be a Leo for some of you, could help you see maybe where the deceit was and where you're very clear of how you're moving forward now. Even the places that maybe you didn't yet see, you couldn't have yet seen, where you've been deceived, and that will come out this month, or places that people have lied to you, people who really aren't on your side. By the end of the month, when everything goes direct, before even Scorpio season starts, you're going to enter this like whole new portal of a world where lies the Ace of Cups. And anyone who is here, any situation, you no longer, like, it's like, okay, I know that I have this, now I'm going to use it. And if there is a Sagittarius, there's just a situation for some of you of a Leo and a Sagittarius where things are coming out about them, and you're very clear that it's very clear to you that you want to move forward very just like in a crisp way, very fall, very autumn, that weather, that breeze. And, the universe is kind of like, okay, great. This is the moment you've been waiting for, right? So very just a great month, a beautiful month, a month of you and of being about you and who you really are, and for the people in your life who really see that. Those are the people that will help wield and bring together this strength, the intelligence, the beauty, and put it all out there. And in a way that is not being aggressive, it's just being yourself. It's just simply you. So it's like not even trying, because it's just you and who you've become and who you're continuously becoming. And all of the seeds. So when the only things that you might be like tested on this month is your stubbornness or your unwillingness to see that exactly what has made you stuck is what you need to move on from. So it's like, how are you really in the situation now? Who are you now? And you're someone who moves forward. And you'll realize how much you've changed even more when you look around and see that some people haven't. People want to change, but you've had so much discipline. And you also know how big of a dip and setback you can have if you do anything that is out of your nature this month. Be stubborn about what you want, because it will leave behind those people who don't understand why you want or how. You don't need to explain that. This month isn't about, like, definitely communicating, but not so much explaining yourself. It's communicating what needs to be communicated. And you love that. Let's be real. We love that. I love that. So the first part of the month is very much Mercury in retrograde in Libra, and you'll start to feel the shifts of the planets going direct sooner, rather than later. So lots to be revealed. Just take note of that. Okay, Libra, all the information to work with me is below. Happy birthday. Go do your thing. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I will see you next month. All information to work with me is below.